Welcome into the locker room, the most sacred of spaces in sports. Talking you through the behind-the-scenes conversations that happen behind closed doors. With former Nebraska football tight end Chancellor Brewington.
Chancellor Brewington, the 6-year senior tight end, finding his way into the end zone.
And former South Dakota State running back and Nebraska football assistant Mikey Daniel.
Hand off to Daniel inside the 2 to the 1, and he powers his way into the end zone for a South Dakota State touchdown.
This is The Locker Room, brought to you by Ep Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Yes, we are back here in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket. It's been a busy day. Matt Rhule had a press conference that is worth reviewing, so we'll get to that here in a little bit. But Chancellor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I went on a little walk down O Street. I went to a little bookstore down the street. I didn't know they had a bookstore. We had a 93.7 Ticket supporter come here and give us a book the other day. He told me about it, so I went down there. And, a little 5-minute walk, went down there and got me a couple books.
Nice.
Man. Yeah. So, Mikey's not in today, but he'll be back tomorrow, I believe, to give our top 25 picks and just give our picks on the Nebraska game as well. So we always start off with a quote, some type of quote card. And so I got it from the same book as Mikey yesterday, As a Man Think About James Allen. It says, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. So my goodness, focus on the mind, focus on your thoughts. There was I listened to Earl Nightingale. If anyone knows who Earl Nightingale is, text in, because he's my OG. He's my mentor. He's obviously passed, but he has this audio book called The Strangest Secret. He was like kind of one of the first people in self-development, personal growth, those type of speakers, like the Tony Robbins of this day. Man, he talks about what's man's biggest problem. And he says man's biggest problem is that he doesn't think. That people don't think. And what we think is thinking is really just people giving us ideas and thoughts through social media, through podcasts, through your little Netflix shows, TV shows. But what man really needs to do is think. They need to use their brain, and the master power and the power of the mind is something we can't even calculate. I was looking up a stat for your whole body. So the potential energy inside your body with all the atoms and structures inside your body, you have enough potential energy to light up a small industrialized county or country for a month.
Jeez.
Like just within my hand, I have enough potential energy to light up this whole city. So like we are just these fantastic creatures, fantastic masterpieces. And so for anyone to tell you otherwise is a complete lie. So if you didn't hear it today, you are a marvelous work, and you have a marvelous mind, and let's use it. Let's just use it. Let's use it. And hopefully them boys, the Nebraska Cornhuskers can use it this weekend. They're taking on Wisconsin here for Senior Day. Me and Mikey have talked about it, the locker room. We talked about the players' perspective from Senior Day. It's an emotional day. High expectations, of course. But the Husker, you want to get this done if you're a Husker fan. And we've talked about it, Bach. Is this even a rivalry? Is this even a rivalry, Bach? Do you think this is a rivalry?
It's sad because I think that it's not a rivalry because Nebraska hasn't held up their end of the bargain. When they eventually came into the Big Ten West, or excuse me, the Big Ten, there were fans that were upset that they didn't have Wisconsin as a yearly opponent, within their division. Because of the Barry Alvarez factor. I mean, it was it's a natural kind of storyline. Barry Alvarez played at Nebraska, kind of took, a hard physical mindset running game over to Wisconsin. And so, in many ways, Wisconsin program is a reflection of Nebraska's great program. And early in the rivalry, we had, I think, Corey Clement at Big Ten Media Days calling Nebraska a flip phone as opposed
No
to
way.
as opposed to a smartphone. And that's when Nebraska was winning 9 games a year, but Wisconsin was blowing Nebraska out. So
Right.
the rivalry felt real then. And they instituted a Freedom Trophy to kind of help, right? If it's a Big Ten rivalry game, it's got to have a trophy. And Nebraska's never touched it. So that's been the problem. You lose 10 straight, over a decade of losing to them. They already have their built-in rivalries that they've had for decades and decades with Iowa and in Minnesota, and then you never get a punch in to this point. And now we've seen it reflected in the Big Ten and their future scheduling is they didn't protect the Nebraska-Wisconsin rivalry. They protected Nebraska and Iowa. They protected Wisconsin and Minnesota. They protected Wisconsin and Iowa. But Nebraska-Wisconsin just has not had enough juice to it on the Nebraska side to be a rivalry.
Yeah, it's tough. When you look at, I looked at the history of it yesterday, and it's, on the Nebraska side, it's L after L after L after L. I took a couple L's while I was here, right? And those games didn't really feel like a rivalry. I mean, I would say one game that I think is slept on is the Illinois game. I don't know what it is. I just
got a little more feel to it.
Yeah, it had a little bit more feel to it. Maybe it was because when we first played Illinois, it was remember the Cam Taylor-Britt, the punt. Remember he punted it and threw it back?
Yeah.
It was that one, and then we play them the next year, and they're like I believe like a top 10 team in the nation. They had that crazy defense with the Brown, Sidney Brown and Witherspoon from with Seattle, first round draft pick. Just had some crazy talent on that defense. But I like those type of games, and then even like a Northwestern game. I feel like those were had a little bit more feel of a rivalry to me personally than a Wisconsin game. And also, honestly, my Wisconsin experience my last year was not very fun. I'll tell you why. It was one of the coldest games I've ever been in. I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't feel my toes. It was the worst time playing football I ever had.
Wow.
Because I hate the cold. I hate it. Like I really hate it. But yeah, and we lost.
So you would never consider going to Madison after that experience. You'd never play football there.
Oh no.
No.
No, never.
What if you got drafted by the Packers or something?
Oh yeah, I mean you would just have to make it work. You'd have to make it work. But I don't know, it's something about Nebraska and the wind chill. It's just like it's so rough. But Nebraska has an opportunity to get it done. Rhule said in the presser, and I want to get to some of this stuff in this presser because there's some real interesting stuff. He talked about Wisconsin's defense and how it's probably one of the best ones they've played this year. And he said some things about Tommy, and we talked about Tommy on this show. I know Tommy personally, and I understand like what was going on before the season, like the mock and all these things, and then you get hurt and you're not. And Rhule talked about like Tommy is a guy who relies on his recovery speed, takes chances, is a real, I would say, is a slept on physical guy because he gets. I mean, if you turn his Colorado tape on, I mean, like he's in the backfield, blowing up inside zones, nub side, like come off the edge on blitzes. So he gets things done in the run game. But you got it pulled up. So Rhule, this is Coach Rhule talking about just Tommy's injury and what's going to happen on Saturday.
Yeah, no, Tommy will be out the next 2 games. He's tried to play. It's obviously it's tough for him. He's dealing with a lot. And so I just shut him down. He's been invited to the Senior Bowl. Maybe he'll be ready for bowl practice, but he's out there, but he's playing half speed, 3/4 speed. And so that's led to, obviously led to the first touchdown in this game, led to the first touchdown in the Indiana game, led to first touchdown in the Illinois game. So I feel for him, came to the year with high expectations, had the foot injury, and it's just never quite been the same.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough because I mean, you when you get out there and you're playing, timid and especially at corner when people catch on to it, and you was a threat, like you're a guy that we probably not gonna throw over to was Tommy number 6 or something. Yeah, we're not gonna throw over to number 6. And then all of a sudden, you get injured and now people see it. You can see it on tape like 6 isn't himself. Now you become a target, and now guys aren't afraid to run to you. And then, if anything, they want to run to you and they want to throw to you. I mean, as far as corner production on this team, Sair Wright has done, I would say, a phenomenal job coming in and I would say elevating that room, raising the standard, raising the bar. Malcolm Hartzog, I know people are like, man, you got to make those plays with last week. But I think he's done a good job this year. I think he's done a good job. I think people have to understand is that playing off technique, 8 yards off, is a world of difference to playing press technique outside. Those are two different styles, two different ways of playing football, two different techniques, two different alignments, two different assignments. So that's what he had to do. I mean, now against against the SC last week, he was now in the corner spot, and him and Marquise kind of switch roles in a sense, and I think that fits them better. I would believe that maybe that was a decision that was made based on USC's offense, or it was a thing where maybe it was the consultant that came in from for the defense that came in and made that switch. But the elevated play of Sair, right, I would say would give me some hope and fans hope that Tommy being out, the level of play isn't going to go down as much.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to get the Tommy that you got against Colorado, then you're losing a big part. But if you're losing the Tommy Hill, unfortunately, that we've seen with the injury, he just hasn't even looked like himself, right? And I know there's been questions about his effort or whatever it might be, but I mean that could be frustration boiling up as well. I mean, you look at it, like you said, cornerback, foot injury. I mean, that could be pretty catastrophic for a guy, and it has been. I mean, his career, at least trajectory after that Colorado game to where it is now is wildly different. But I mean, it's the same thing. Like in the NFL, how many 30-year-old cornerbacks do you see in the league? I mean, as soon as you lose a bit of a step, there's a younger, faster guy that can keep up with the wide receivers, the opposite. And I think that's kind of what happened is whatever it may be, this injury, plantar fasciitis has just debilitated him enough that he is not, he's not been an all-star out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what might be frustrating for some people. Like, why is he not going 100? And me personally, I would say it would hurt me not to be out there with my teammates, of course, and especially this being his last year. But I like the transparency of Rhule, just saying like he want to be out there. But look, he's not at the level where we need him, because at the end of the day, if you're going half speed on a play, you could leave your brother out to dry like real bad and get him hurt, or maybe yourself hurt even more. Now the foot injury could turn into an ankle injury or a knee injury or a hamstring or a hip, or even a shoulder injury. Like the body's all connected. So that's great there. We got some more. Let's just keep rolling through Rhule's presser. It's got some good stuff in there, some interesting stuff. But go ahead, Buck.
All right, here's further context on who made the decision on Hill sitting for the final 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's a collaboration, but I can't put him out there anymore. He's he cares about his teammates and wants to be out there, but he he's only hurting himself and he's giving up touchdowns, and so it's just it's unfortunate for him, but he has better days ahead. He's going to graduate. He's he's going to come in and rehab every day and get himself ready and hopefully go have a really strong Senior Bowl showing. When you're a guy who relies on your speed to play and you lose that, it's tough. So it's just an unfortunate break for us this year.
Yeah, I think the number one thing for his support staff and people around him, just make sure that he got his confidence. I mean, Mikey talked about it on here before. I think that this is just a universal fact, no matter if it's football, baseball, football, or business, sales, whatever it is. I think once you lose your confidence, man, you're a shell of yourself. So making sure he still has confidence, knows what type of player he is, because he's a phenomenal talent. Got to see it firsthand. I remember when he first came in, a bunch of talking, whatever. I'm like, man, he got to be able to back this up, and he did every time. He did every time. I mean, he was the type of guy throwing guys out of bounds, one-on-ones. He still is a special athlete, but when I saw him, he was a special athlete. And the Senior Bowl deal, I mean, your draft stock can rise a lot during those type of events, going against the top talent, especially in the East-West Shrine Bowl. you'll get the top talent. I mean, you'll get the top talent, the overflow from the Reese's Bowl guys who don't go there. But yeah, I mean, I think this defense will take a jump. They had some situations where, they had 3 corners on the field. They had Malcolm Harzog, they had Tommy Hill, and they had Sair Wright on there. So I wonder what's gonna move. Who's gonna move in there? I don't know if they're gonna go two corner system, maybe go a little heavier personnel, or if they're gonna bring in the young guy Jeremiah Charles. Sometimes we saw him against UCLA kind of get targeted, right? But a freshman moment is a freshman moment. Everyone has them. So I think moving forward, I mean, hey, listen, this defense got a good test. Not a great running back from Wisconsin, but they throw the ball. So DB's going to have to be on point.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. At least I suppose, Wisconsin and Iowa traditionally not great passing teams and haven't been this year as either. Though look out for Vinny Anthony out there for Wisconsin. He's a big play waiting to happen. So we'll see if Sair Wright or Hartzog can shut him down. All right, let's take a quick break. We got plenty more from the Matt Rhule press conference to play and listen to and react to here in the locker room coming next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. We fix basements.
At F Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 30 years. We're your local foundation repair experts. Our warranties stay here. Our people work here. You can trust us to take care of your home. Go to WeFixBasements.com to learn more.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ANSI master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. An afternoon high around 44. Tonight, clear skies and calm winds, the low around 27. And tomorrow, we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high around 50. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring.
We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. As you're gearing up for Christmas, it's time to head to Tailored Life in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. Brown Shoe Fit has a Black Friday deal so good, it's available for 3 days. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit from November 29th through December 1st for 20% off everything store-wide. Brown's has all your favorite brands, plus Lincoln's largest selection of Uggs, which makes the perfect Christmas gift. And speaking of stocking stuffers, buy 3 Smart Wool socks, get 1 free during the extended Black Friday sale from November 29th through December 1st at Brown Shoe Fit, 6060Q in Lincoln. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, yes, we are back here on the Locker Room on 93.7 The Ticket, kind of going through Matt Rhule's press conference from today. We already talked about how Tommy Hill will be out for the final 2 games, so we'll just move on our way through the next topic. Matt Rhule was asked, how great has it been to have Dana around for another week in terms of his connection here with the players and the staff? Here's what Matt Rhule had to say.
Yeah, I also think, it's been great. You say that, just the verbiage, working with the staff. Also, I kind of, he's just out there at practice, like he's putting a lot of pressure on the guys, to make the plays. He's a guy that's never not scored. I don't know what the lowest yards per, when I looked at it, it was like 34 points per game one season, right? Like he scores a lot of points. And what's happened this year is it's again, he was very direct in his press conference. I'm not quite as direct because I'm the head coach, but he was very direct, and he's been very direct with them. If they want to win, they're going to have to go make plays. They're going to have to catch balls, break tackles, make long runs, make big blocks against an excellent defense, score touchdowns in the red zone. And it's not the plays that do it; it's the players that do it. And I don't know what the right word is, imprinting that to them. For all year, it was like, Sat was saying it to him, but, all the noise was, well, it's Sat's fault. So the players can sometimes be like, well, I mean, gosh, if Sat did a better job. Well, now Dana comes in and he's saying the same exact thing. Hey, go make that play. Like, we're not kicking field goals. We're not kicking field goals on 3rd down in the red zone. Like, go make the play on 3rd down. So I think that's good. That's the way we want to empower our players. We want our players to believe that players win games. And so I think Dana's juice and energy and intensity, and the fact that the guys, they have nowhere to turn, except to turn to themselves. Like, I want us to go win the game, and I want our players to walk off proud knowing that they won the game. Coach Rhule didn't win the game. Dana didn't win the game. Tony didn't win the game. I want the players to go win the game. And so I think he's helped get that message across.
I like that. It sounds like the Dana press, Coach Holgorsen press conference. It was interesting. So I didn't know Bach. I didn't know. I was waiting for it to come out. That he's already talked to the players like that, right? I wanted to hear that, right? From either an offensive player come on there and say like he's been hard on us, right? Because as a player, you want to hear that first before you hear it on the press conference, right? Because you don't want to get blindsided in the media like, oh, he just called me out, right? But it sounds like there's been confirmation that okay, he said it in practice. He's consistent probably in the film room in the offensive unit meetings. And then he says, the same exact thing in the presser. So nobody's caught off guard. The standard is the standard. He's expressed it, and it sounds like what he's talking about is the same issues that's going on with Dana. Obviously, it's just 2 weeks of the turnover, but that the same problems have happened with Satterfield, and so and it's the same problems that Satterfield has addressed. Maybe not as directly like he was talking about to the media and to just to the world, of course. But it puts pressure. I like applying pressure. I like applying pressure to the situation because of what they say, pressure bursts pipes or makes diamonds. So you're gonna understand what type of player you have. And Dana was talking about it, using the young guy, right? And some people have speculated that that's Quinn Clark, the receiver out of Montana, freshman guy, 6'6", long jumper, triple jumper, real athletic guy. So, putting pressure, then also just seeing around the pieces that you're not using. So I think that could help out Nebraska getting some more pieces in there. But yeah, what do you think, Bach?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting statement. It's just kind of interesting place to be in altogether. I mean, I think a lot of people liked what they heard from Dana Holgorsen from the press conference, just because it was, straight and what a lot of the Husker fans have been feeling about the offense as they sat back from afar and watched. So it is good to kind of feel like that communication is being brought upon them. But I mean, that answer was heavy on like it's going to be won by the players. This is going to have to be something where the players take over. And it's interesting. They said, at times, just you could hear all the blame being put on Sat, and that's why I kind of wanted to ask you. It's probably kind of a similar thing for Frost, especially going into his final year. There was just so much of blame on Frost. Did that sometimes you think maybe murky it up for the players on what was going on, or who was at fault?
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess being on this side of things, I guess I wasn't in really tuned into the media as much. Like I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't I didn't look at who's the Twitter people. I didn't look at the Sean Callahans and the Mitch Shermans, and I didn't look at those pages or those people like that put out the media. Like I didn't watch the pressers. Like I didn't watch let's say, Adrian Martinez went on the press. Like I wouldn't watch it, right? I see him every day, right? I see him 5 times a day, right? So I guess those things I didn't really see, but I did hear about it. Just word of mouth. Like you go get a haircut, right? And then, they're like, oh, Frost on, this, right? Or what's up with your offense coordinator? Like the haircut guy, your barber knows about it, right?
Yeah.
Or like you go to a grocery store and like, they're like, oh, we gonna win? We got, new OC. Like, what you think? Like I guess those conversations like, wait, let me go look that up. Like, and then you go look it up like, oh, wow, I didn't even know this was going on. Of course, unless you get tagged and stuff. But I remember specific moments where we would turn on the film in the tight end room and we would be like, okay, let's really analyze this play and let's look at it if this guy executed his job better. And there's just 2 players, just this guy and this guy. And we'll play and be like, and the question would be proposed to the whole room. Like, okay, if this guy executed, would this block or, this route be wide open for Adrian or Casey, whoever the quarterback was, to hit it, Chuba, whatever it was. And, most of the time it was yes. And then he's like, so was the play call wrong? And we would say, no, I mean, we could have hit that, right? And then there would be times where we would get in the film room, and we would say, depending on whoever was calling the play, we would get in there and say, this was a terrible call, right? Shouldn't have called this. This is 3rd and 8. We knew they were sending this pressure. We didn't have, the line slid the wrong way. Like little things like that, right? So there's like a two-edged sword there. So I understand, like, I guess I understand the philosophy players win games, but if players aren't consistently in the right positions, I would say when it matters. And I guess it always matters, doesn't it? It always matters. I mean, a play on the first quarter, the first drive of the game, someone messes up on 3rd down, false start, right? That drive could have been, the drive to win the game against, USC or what. I'm just picking out a random game, right? A 1-score game. Those are those type of things that matter. But I guess I like the philosophy players win games, but also, certain situations okay, let's put this in an example, Bach. The punt stuff earlier in the year. All of a sudden, you got real tight splits. Guys are getting through whatever. After the first bye week against what was it, Indiana? Right after or before Indiana. Yeah. They widen out the splits, meaning, from guard to tackle in the punt. They literally just widen the splits, widen the distance in between each other, and the punt problem solved like that, right? So now let me ask you, from outside looking in, is that players winning games, or is it the coaching putting the players in the best positions?
Yeah, it would seem they weren't in the best position.
Exactly. So there's particular situations, and now we talk about players winning games. Okay, well, 3rd and 8, first drive of the game, Isaiah Nair to the boundary. He's supposed to run not if it's 8, 3rd and 8, probably a 9 or 10 yard stop route, right? Or maybe 11. They push it to 11 yards, and he doesn't win that, right? That's the read. Put in a perfect situation, press corner. So now that particular situation, players win that matchup, right? Not a coach, of course, because the coach put them in the right situation. That's a long-winded answer, but I guess I'm trying to say it can go both ways.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's crazy how much it's broken down in like look at if you're losing as opposed to winning, right? Like if Nebraska throughout all their struggles, demoting the offensive coordinator, all this. Remember, they're a catch away from Lindenmeyer in the end zone from beating Illinois.
Right.
Jalen Lloyd catching and that was a little bit overthrown against Ohio State, likely from winning that game.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
If you're 7-3 from just all the plays that we're breaking down, and yes, there's missed assignments, yes, there's bad calls, but you're a few inches away from being 7-3 and nobody's dissecting it.
No, yeah. I mean, it's just a funny way. It's a funny way sports work. It's just, I guess it's the way life works too. I mean, the moment you could be an inch away from something, and that inch is a W or a L. Like, it's just the way this game of football works.
Yeah. By golly, do Nebraska fans know that with all these close games and not quite winning them. But we'll break down more of Matt Rhule's press conference and talk more Nebraska football against Wisconsin coming up in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Mail have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Mail. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmail.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. An afternoon high around 44. Tonight, clear skies and calm winds, the low around 27. And tomorrow we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high around 50. And meteorologist Kyle collected for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, the Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited. All built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of November. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln at 27th and I-80.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173. Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I was noticing on your website, you have more than 150 new 2024 and 2025 Hondas in stock right now.
Yes, we do, Charlie. It's neat when you drive by and see all the cars on our lot, and we have most all models and all different colors available. and we even have more than hundreds on the way. We also have the all-new, all-electric 2024 Honda Prologue in stock right now. We have a few of them to choose from. Plus, qualified buyers get financing from just 1.9% APR.
How about your pre-owned selection?
I talked to a lot of my customers and friends, and they still think that we just sell brand new Hondas, but we sell all different models, make of pre-owned cars, and we have more than 100 to choose from right now.
Well, maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Danielle. Brought to you by F Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, thanks again to F Foundation Repair as we are here on The Locker Room going through the Matt Rhule press conference today. He was asked, how has the team handled the preparation in this emotional week, of course, being senior week? Here is what Matt Rhule had to say.
I think our preparation, as I said, has been good every week. I think they're, the veteran guys, the senior guys are locked in, especially the guys that have, as I said, there's 30 seniors. There's a lot of guys who've been here for 5 or 6 years. So this means a lot to them. I think the gravity of the situation is not lost on them. And I know how much they'd like to win. I know how much they'd like to be the ones who broke through. At some point, someone has to do it, and lots of guys have tried, and we haven't been able to do it for a long time. And so someone's got to break through and get that 6th win. And we're on the precipice of that. We haven't been able to do it. We weren't able to do it last year. We haven't been able to do it this year. I will bear all the brunt of us not being able to do it. But when we do it, I'm going to give all the credit to the guys. And so I think they've practiced all week, and they've prepared all week, and they've spoken and walked and talked all week like a group that wants to get it done. They wanted to get it done at USC. They wanted to get it done at UCLA. They wanted to get it done. They've wanted to get it done. So it's going to come down just really to execution, the matchup, how we match up with Wisconsin, the things that we do well. So I've just encouraged them to focus, and I've encouraged them not to shy away from the gravity of this, to lock into and lean into it. And, the only way out is to go through it. So they've got to bust through this week.
Only way out is to go through it. I love that because at the end of the day, regardless, I'll tell you, regardless of what happens these next 2 weeks, there's gonna be a lot of just chatter and just commotion around the facility about who's leaving, who's staying, guys going to Senior Bowl, guys going to the transfer portal. There's gonna be all this chatter. There already is some chatter. That's just how it's gonna go. It's every team I've been on, that's how it is, right? And so for you to lock in this week, and bodies I know are beat up. I mean, I guarantee anyone who's played over at this point, 400, 500 snaps, they probably got an ankle sprain, a labrum, and all these different things, right? Some sore small tissue muscles, right? So body's beat up. But at the end of the day, the will can't fade. The will to win, the will to go out there and practice, the will to put it on the line for your upperclassmen or for your fellow senior. The will can't fade for that. And then something else he said was just, the guys carrying themselves like they want to win. I guess the point, the next step, and it's tough because I didn't really get to experience this, but the next step is walking in. I know we're gonna win. I know we're gonna win. I know we're gonna win because, and we talked about it. Our confidence sometimes gets a little hit, right? It gets a little hit, and then you might not want to be as bold as you were the week prior because you lost. The reference me and Mike was talking about yesterday is in the City League. I know you probably feel the same way, Bach. City League. Hey, listen, if I go 0 for 5 in threes, I'm chucking up that 6th one like I'm 5 for 5. I'm not even thinking about it. And obviously that's a smaller reference. I'm not playing in front of 90,000, but I have before, and you got to step on that field like you're going to win, right? And I think it's the collective, and I think Nebraska's moving in the right direction. I think you got to add in a couple pieces, of course. Maybe some fresh pieces that just have some swagger, maybe some out-of-state kids, some in-state kids, mix it up. But there's going to be a lot of commotion, right? And now is the time where I'm not saying there's nothing to lose, but there's kind of nothing to lose, right? It's kind of a weird paradox because, there is something to lose. You go 0-2 these next 2 games, it's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad for players and coaches and company. Now, I guess what are you willing to risk during this time? And so the next clip we're gonna play is Rhule talking about a young guy that has been in the talk. Maybe it's the young guy that Dana Holgorsen was talking about. But here's Rhule talking about it.
Yeah, here's Matt Rhule on Quinn Clark.
Quinn's done a great job. He's been on the scout team for most of the year. He's a guy, he came in, big, raw athlete, but he's got great ball skills, movement, change of direction, body control. So he was up last week, there if needed. He's practiced, some this week. Obviously, as I said, we've had some situations with the flu and all that stuff. So he's gotten a ton of reps this week. I don't know that you'll see him necessarily in the game flow, but by being up with the varsity, I think it gives him a chance to develop and also gives Dana a chance to see him. Excited about what I think he has a chance to be if he does the work.
Man, these November games are special because all of a sudden a guy get bumped up from scout team and maybe gets a couple snaps here, and the momentum into next year, the momentum into spring, and then from spring into some workouts into fall camp. This could do wonders for this kid specifically. You talk about a 6'5", 6'6" guy, about 205 as I saw, maybe got up to 210. You never know. But for him to talk about change of direction at 6'5" and body control and obviously high point, that's something you don't want that ball to fall down. You want to get at the highest point, of course. But you talk about body control and change of direction at 6'5". That's something special. And at this point, Bach, what do you got to lose? What do you really have to lose? I mean, he's a guy where you can if he can block, if he's willing to block, he should be on the field.
Yeah, another big body.
If he's willing to block, he should be on the field. IGC, another situation. If he's willing to block, he should be on the field. And I think Jalen Lloyd has proven that he's not afraid to block. He's not afraid to get dirty. That's really, a large part of what he did last year was blocking, right? Him and what's his face, Coleman and Doss out there. Those guys did a lot of blocking, right? So putting those guys in situations like he talked about to win, and I think Holgorsen in this offense can take a next step. I think in letting Rhule make some decisions and get the ball to some playmakers and allow these running backs to get the holes again, right? Because they got definitely enough holes to win the game, definitely enough opportunities to win one-on-one tackles in space. You just got to capitalize on them. And I think feeding Emmett Johnson will get us there.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's your big play opportunity for a Wisconsin team that has won themselves that I mentioned earlier. Could be the difference in the game. Plenty more to talk about tomorrow. Mikey Daniel will jump in the locker room as well with Chancellor Brewington. But that'll wrap it up for the locker room today. On the Block coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. We fix basements.
At F Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 30 years. We're your local foundation repair experts. Our warranties stay here. Our people work here. You can trust us to take care of your home. Go to wefixbasements.com to learn more.
Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus,